everybody, it's your girl Gingy and welcome to Ginger Books. Hello everybody, it is your girl Gingy and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a continuing watcher or subscriber. And today you can see that I am in a different background because this is not really a bookish video. We're kind of following the trend of getting to know me on this channel that I've been kind of liking just because, you know, I don't really talk a whole lot about my likes and dislikes and things that I better understand who I am as a person and just to get to know me a little bit. So today I am doing a 20 questions video inspired by questions from the Vlog Gear and their article of 450 plus Q&A questions for YouTube videos and vlog. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, disclaimer before we get into the questions is that I will be looking down on a sheet of paper because I have them down here because I just have a really bad memory. And there was no way to be able to prop it up near the camera. Number one, favorite place to go on vacation. So we're already getting into a little bit about knowing about me and kind of how I grew up. So my family could not afford to take vacations out of state or out of country a lot. And so instead what we did is we went camping around the state that we live in, which is Iowa. The only time I've ever left the state just to go shopping in Omaha. I've gone to Minnesota once, to Mankato, and then to Eureka Springs, Arkansas. So I got to drive through Missouri, but never got to stop or anything like that. So fun fact about me. So I would have to say any campgrounds. And there is a favorite campground close to where I currently live. But I don't want to say it because then it'll give where I live away. But if I were to have a favorite vacation spot, it would probably be Disney World. So Florida. Just because I would love to go to Universal Studios and Disney World. The next one would probably be anywhere on the East Coast because I just love history. And then obviously to go to Norway, and Germany, and England. So yeah. Number two, favorite TV show. So a little fact about me, if you're new to this channel, but if you have kind of seen the pattern for me as you have followed me the past 2-3 years, actually it's almost been 4. Wow, it's almost been 4. Anyways, I don't have like a favorite all time. I have like top 3s and top 5s and sometimes top 10s. So, because I can never choose. Like, it's, you know, each television show or movie or book holds a special place in my heart, and if you make the list, you make the list. So I would have to say my top 6 that I can think of right now is my go-to to play in the background besides what we watch to sleep, or have in the background to sleep. I would have to say Vampire Diaries, Little House on the Prairie, Full House, That 70s Show. So those are like my 4 that I kind of, and Bridgerton. So that's my top 5 for like, you know, actual like real life TV shows with real actors and actresses. For my animated shows, obviously you kind of know that, my anime, which is Inuyasha, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball. So number 3, worst movie that you have seen. This is going on kind of a controversial because either you loved the Star Wars sequel series or you didn't. I loved episode 7. I thought it had great potential to set up the sequel series. But I will have to say episode 8 and 9. Episode 8 especially was a big major letdown for me because it just felt like there was no direction and there was way too many things happening at the same time that it was just, and it didn't make sense. Yeah. So I would have to say episode 8. Star Wars. And I hate saying that because usually I love anything Star Wars. Oh, and I should add The Mandalorian onto my favorite TV show because I love The Mandalorian. Number 5, my biggest fear. So I actually have 2 big fears. One of mine is heights. I will get very shaky and very nervous and almost go into panic attacks if I try to look over a cliffside without a guardrail, and even with a guardrail, or if it has like a see-through floor. I can't do that. Can't be on roofs. But I can be on a horse. Don't know that. I can be on step ladders. I can be on ladders, but it's only to a certain height before I start getting nervous and shaky. And my second biggest fear is being alone. I've never actually really been fully alone in my life. I've always had either another person that lives with me or a dog or both. So Yeah. Number 6. If you could have dinner with any person who has passed away, who would it be? So I have 2 answers for this one. So the personal one would probably be my grandfather, just because I would have loved to have one day where he was pain-free to spend the last day with him. So probably that. My other one for my for personal wise would actually be some of my ancestors, just because I would love to know some of the family stories, if they're actually true or not. Celebrity wise, I would have to say Betty White, hands down. Number 7, favorite subject in school. So my favorite subject and what I thought was going to be my career was music. I played bassoon since I started. So our band program here, because I live in the town that I grew up in, we started at 5th grade, and I started out as clarinet, and then 6th grade I switched over to an instrument called the bassoon. Here's a picture of what it looks like. So I played bassoon pretty much since 6th grade all the way even through my collegiate years at college. It was one of my favorite instruments. I wish I had it, but I mean, these instruments start, like, good beginner one at like $3,000. So my next favorite subject, obviously, when I found out that music might have been just a really fun hobby thing I loved to do, I switched it over to history. History and English were my other 2 favorite subjects in school. Number 8, how many pets do you have? So, okay. We're going to do the current alive ones that I have. So I have Miss Lady over here, who's actually sitting right next to me sunning herself. It's her favorite spot. She is a healer cattle dog mix. We're pretty sure it's a healer and maybe a 2 mix of shepherds. We adopted her back in 2016, 2017 when we were living... Wait, that's a lie. 2017, sorry. From the local Humane Society where we were living, where I was going to college. And she is definitely a ray of sunshine, and she follows her name to a T. We love her so much. And she is actually turning 10 in April, and that will be her... We've had her since 2017, so we would have... So I believe her 6-year anniversary with us, as well as her Gotcha Day. The next is my gelding here. His name is Ty. He's a quarter horse gelding. I got him in 2020 during the pandemic. I had the opportunity to finally pretty much live my childhood dream of being able to have my own horse. I bought him from a friend who is my aunt's middle child. So, love his personality. He's a sweetheart. I tell him he's a grumpy old man because he always has a complaint. But I love him to death. He's such a puppy dog and love him. Following it the next year, when I realized I needed help working with the horses because I felt like I really didn't have the knowledge to horse person that my horse's Ty needed. So I met my friend who obviously has my 2 mares, and that's actually where I met my mare. This is Fancy. She is a quarter horse, or not quarter horse, she's an Arabian mare. 13 hands though. We're a little shocked because her lineage has averages 14.5 to 15. So we're not 100% sure. We just think she might have been just stunted at growth. It happens. So, but she is such a sweetheart, and she has made me fall in love with the Arabian breed. And I know a lot of people say the Arabian breed is crazy. I really don't think so. They're just really high intelligent horses that sometimes get anxious when they're bored. As well as they just have high spirits. They were bred to run across the desert for miles on miles. I mean, and she's just a sweetheart. She is literally the polar opposite of Ty, where he can be very stubborn and sometimes you have to get on him. With Fancy, she's just, you tell her what to do and she does it just willingly. And you don't have to force her to do anything. You don't have to get, kind of on her or anything. And she's very in tune with me, where she is always watching what I'm doing and making sure I'm being careful. So she's almost kind of like a mother hen to me, and it's really sweet to see. Then, of course, next on the list, I purchased her last year because I needed a kind of a more laid-back, easygoing lesson horse for my future lesson program, as well as another broodmare. And so I bought Shakira here last year, and she is a quarter horse mare. If you could kind of tell, I'm falling in love with the gray color, especially the flea bitten color. Yeah. And hopefully we get to breed her this year, along with we're going to breed back Fancy because she is going to have a foal here towards the end of March, some into April. And then we're going to breed her back to the stud that I bred her to last year. And along with to Shakira as well. Sorry about that. Received a phone call. So where were we? Oh yeah, pets. So previous pets that I owned personally, they were my pets. I had a hamster named Scooby because he had markings like Scooby-Doo. I had him for 2 years, and that was kind of like my test to see if I could take care of an animal, because the next animal that I got was a dog that we also, he was 8 months old when we got him, and that is Shadow here. Or sometimes you would hear me call him Shababies or Shadow Dado. That was his two nicknames. Shadow Dado was my mom's favorite nickname for him, and then Shababies was mine for him. He was a Boston Terrier mix. He had 3 terriers in him. He had a Boston Terrier from his dad, and then his mom was a Jack Russell Rat Terrier mix. So he was a wonderful dog. The only thing that I kind of regret with him is that I didn't socialize him more, because where he came from, they really did not socialize these dogs at all. So he was very skittish and scared around other dogs and other people. And that had a tendency, since I was the human he trusted the most, to be very defensive with me. Or about me. So, but if you took the time just to sit on the floor and ignore him and let him approach you, he became your best friend. So, so those were the other 2 animals that I owned previously. Besides family pets, which we had a rat terrier named Spot, my dad's dog, for the first 7 years of my life, which was a golden retriever black lab mix named Midnight, and then my brother's dog Max, which is a pocket beagle, which he is still alive. Number 9, are you more like your mom or your dad? So I love to say that I do have some of my mom's qualities, but I am mostly my father's daughter. I have his temper, his personality traits, as well as his anxiety. Yep. And I also, when I was born, I literally, if you would have just covered my forehead and my eyes, I looked like my grandfather in my jawline, my dad's dad. So, yeah. Number 10, my dream job. So, one of the things is that I do feel like I'm living my current dream job, but my actual dream job when I was a kid growing up was to work with horses. And to work with animals, specifically dogs and horses, I should say. So I am currently working to to be able to do my dream job that I had set out forth as a child, which is to work with horses and dogs. But also my dream job to work in museum settings and to give back to my community in some way, which is to share. And right now I'm doing that through Lions Club, as well as my job. Through history. 11 biggest pet peeves, or pet peeve. So I do have anxiety, and when I get stressed out, little noises bother me, and it makes me really can lose focus easily, very hard to focus, and they irritate me. But usually my only biggest pet peeve when just on a normal day is really loud chewing. And especially with your mouth open. I hate that. Now, if there is some medical excuse why you can't chew with your mouth closed, I totally get that. And I usually can try to get myself, zeroed in and say, hey, they can't help it. Then I'm fine. But it's usually the ones that just have bad table manners and just do it because that annoy me. Sorry if that makes me seem really mean and uptight, but if you can chew with your mouth closed, please chew with your mouth closed. Number 12, kind of going with the pet, my spirit animal. So my spirit animal would have to be dogs and horses, and I think that's the reason why I love them the most, because horses have such a personality that I just love, and I feel like I kind of relate to that, as well as dogs. Number 13, sport most exciting to watch, and the one that's the most boring to watch. The most boring to watch for me would have to be golf. I don't understand or get the purpose, or track and field. I just don't get it. But that's just me, again. Exciting to watch, I would have to say, and it is technically a sport, equestrian sports are sports. I would have to say is I love watching barrel racing, and I also love watching dressage. 14. This is a kind of a random question, but my morning routine. So my morning routine currently right now, since I work from home, is I get up and I take at like 6 o'clock every day during the week to take my boyfriend to work because we only have one, or my fiance to work because we only have one car currently. I'm hoping in the next couple of months we can get another vehicle, but you know, tax season. So I get up and take him to work. I usually stop and I get a nutritious like Mega T-Bomb from a nutrition place near in town. And that's kind of like my morning kind of like pick me up. It's really nice and healthy, has really healthy caffeine and all of that stuff. And it helps also burn fat and calories. After that, I go and feed Ty, which is just up at my uncle's place, which is just a mile north of where we currently live right now. So I go feed Ty and Sid, which is Sid, a pony that is buddies with him. Then I come back and I get started on my kind of like work and morning routine. I work from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's pretty much it. That's my morning routine. Number 15, fear I would like to conquer. So there is another fear that kind of comes with my anxiety, which is I don't like change. I like routine. And I like routine to a point, but sometimes it gets a little much where it's like, okay, where I'm fearful of trying new things because of, okay, what are the what ifs and consequences and getting myself worked up because of that. So I would like to kind of conquer that fear where I do things that challenge that, like changing up my schedule or for a day or doing things that kind of set off that fear a little bit, which one of them is the horses, is the fear of, getting hurt and all of that, which I have fallen off twice, which has helped with that. I don't recommend doing it on purpose, but I have fallen off twice and it's been helping me with that, always expect the unexpected, but you can't always control the outcome. It's also kind of a control thing, is you can't always control the outcome. You do have to let things go and let them be what they're going to be. And you can't let that be the fear of trying new things, because what happens if it was something that you were meant to do and it was going to be a positive process, but you turned it into such a negative thing that you didn't want to try it. So you never know. 16, favorite TV show growing up. So my favorite TV show growing up, I would have to say, like, as a toddler and kind of like a young child, I really loved Barney and Friends. Loved The Big Comfy Couch, which was an Iowa Public Television IPBS TV show. Loved Sesame Street. Loved Bear in the Big Blue House. Roger's Neighborhood. But my favorite, like all-time favorite, and my parents got annoyed so much of me watching it, was Barney and Friends and Teletubbies, and then it went to Blue's Clues. So, Blue's Clues they could rock with. They loved that show. But Teletubbies and Barney and Friends, my dad said that every time he looked at a purple dinosaur, he had nightmares. Because of how much I love, but he didn't say anything because he knew I loved that show. And I also dressed up as Barney and a Teletubby for Halloween. Now, growing up, as I kind of moved into other TV shows more appropriate of my age, I also loved watching Cartoon Network. So I love watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, those TV. 17, and now this one's kind of personal and a little controversial, but I wanted to say that out there because this is a big part of my life. Do you believe in the paranormal? Yes, I definitely do believe in the paranormal because of my experiences growing up, as well as I am definitely sensitive to energies. And I never understood it until my mom's cousin moved back from New York, and she is also an empath. They're called empaths, and she can sense energies coming off of people by just touching their hands. Sometimes if they're strong enough energies, she doesn't have to touch hands in order, but 18, favorite genre of music. So my favorite genre of music is rock and roll. That's pretty much the one that I gravitate towards. And of course that is a general genre. There's so many subcategories and divisions of the rock genre. Most are where I kind of gravitate more towards is 80s glam metal, thrash metal, the metal genre. So, yeah. And my favorite band, though, it changes. Right now, it's Motionless in White. I've been listening to a lot of their music lately, so. 19, favorite breakfast food. So, my favorite breakfast food, I would have to say, is yogurt. I like yogurt, especially the yogurt mixed with fruits and granola. Number 20, favorite, and the last question, favorite comfort food. So my favorite comfort food is ice cream, hands down. Like, you literally put ice cream in front of me, instantly my day's better. More specifically, I love ice cream from like Dairy Queen. I love Rocky Road ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough, mint, chocolate mint, so, and plain vanilla. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video of getting to know me with the 20 questions. We will be back to regular book content on Thursday with one vlog coming out. I was hoping there would be 2 vlogs, but I just didn't vlog enough during the weekend to have a vlog. And as I said, if I don't have enough that I'm proud of to put out or proud enough to put a video out, I will not put a video out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you happen upon this video and want to stick around for more, hit that subscribe and that bell notification so you are notified when I post. I post every Tuesdays and Thursdays, or try to. That is usually my schedule. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope everybody has a great start to their week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!